Good morning, friends. I hope you're well and have had a good start to your day. Today I'm going to show you a really simple printing process where you just need very few materials. And some of those materials, if you don't have them, it's not a huge deal. So the first thing you need to have is a thicker piece of paper. I love these little note cards. They're great to send people notes on or turn into other cards. But you need some thicker paper to use. Now, if you don't have thicker paper, you can use copy paper, but you just have to be very careful because we're going to be getting it wet. If you do have copy paper, I would cut it small so that it might fit into a tub of water, which you'll see in just a minute. So you need copy paper. You need some stiff paper. A Sharpie is a good idea, but if you don't have a Sharpie, like I said, it's okay. We can get by without it. The other thing you need is tin foil. And if you don't have tin foil, some good substitutes are a Ziploc bag or like a plastic grocery bag. The only things that won't work are something made out of a natural fiber, like, a paper grocery bag or a piece of cotton, something like that. Excuse me. The biggest thing that you need are some washable markers. If you don't have washable markers, then this project will be a little bit difficult for you. So, let's get started. What I've done here is I've drawn some images on my card that are done in Sharpie. That's the first step. So do your image in Sharpie. The next step is to take your tin foil or the piece of plastic that you're using, and what I like to do is to draw around my card so I know where exactly I'm going to put my color. So I'm going to do just like that, and like I said, if you don't have a Sharpie, it's not a big deal. You just kind of have to pay attention about where you're going to put your color. Now I'm going to take my washable markers and I'm just going to start making some color blocks. So I'm going to kind of keep in mind this design that I've created here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start using my marker. I like to use my marker on the side and save the tips for when I do really fine detail. So I recommend that for you as well. Now, something I learned last night when I was doing and creating these examples was that if I would touch the tinfoil, what would happen is that the oil from my skin would rub off on the tinfoil, and then the color would not stick so well. So just like if you mix oil and water together, because these are water-soluble markers, they're not really it's going to repel, the oil is going to repel the marker. So just a little bit of science there. As you know, art and science go well together. So I'm just going to continue to scribble. Well, not scribble, but put down color. I mean, you could scribble, but I'm going to try to be a little bit more controlled with it. And I'm just going to fill up this whole thing with different colors. And I'm trying to keep in mind my rainbow. Now, I don't have enough lines in my rainbow to go in the complete right order, and that is okay because it is my rainbow. So I'm going to maybe take some yellow here and add that in. And then lately, I've really been loving this green color, so this kind of green-blue color. So I'm just going to do that right like that. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's pretty full. Now I'm going to take my card, and I have a little tub of water here. It's not completely full, just like maybe an inch or so of water. And I'm just going to tap it in like that. I just want to make sure that the card is completely covered with water. It doesn't need to be soaking wet. You see how the back still has some dry spots here? that's fine. You just want to make sure that there are no dry spots in the area that you want to print. And if you need to redip, you can. And then I like to give it a little shake, shake, shake. Okay, so now I'm done with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down on top of my tinfoil, that little box that I drew. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a massage. Okay? Massaging all around the sides and through the middle, and there we go. So, and there it is. Now you can see here I didn't massage very well. So I'm just going to flip it back over and just give it a little bit more of a rub. I don't want to rub too hard because then I might start tearing the paper. And you have to be really careful with that if you're using copy paper. So you can kind of see how the paper starts to peel up a little bit. So there we go. Now I got it. And so there is my print. Now I can let this dry and then go back into it with other colors if I want to, or with my Sharpie and write a little message in here. It's all up to you. Here are some other examples that I had done earlier. I tried to stay kind of in a color family, meaning the colors that are right close to each other on the color wheel, and that gives me a really, really nice effect. Now, you can reuse your tinfoil if you'd like. You could just give it a little wipe down with a napkin, or just not worry about it and start coloring over it a little bit. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, I want to try to get colors into specific areas, that is something you can do, but it's a little bit tricky, and it's not always going to work. So just keep that in mind, that it's not going to be perfect. But you know what? That is A-okay. So I drew my image on. I'm tracing around with the Sharpie marker. All right. And now I'm just going to kind of set this right here. Now, I just want to show you this little trick, or this kind of, idea about how you can get color in certain areas. So when I fold this over like this, whatever color is happening here is going to happen here. And whatever color is happening here is going to happen here. This is something called a mirror image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I really want this blue color to be here. So I'm just going to color just a little scribble here. All right, that blue. And then I'm going to take this lime green, this color, and I really want this color to end up there. So that means I'm going to color right here. Ooh, I love the way that looks on the tinfoil. Now, I'm not going to color everything because I just want to show you how to create color in certain areas. So this blue is going to end up here, and the green is going to end up here. So once again, I'm going to dip my paper and flip it. So, blue here, green here. Flip it over. Give it a little massage. And voila! Just like we said, blue here and green here. That is something called a mirror image. All right. Now let's say you don't have a Sharpie marker, which is not a problem. All you have to do is do the step of coloring your tinfoil first, okay, and printing it. And then after it dries, you can use other colors, or a pencil, or a pen, or other markers to create a design on it. Some people might prefer doing this first, rather than using a Sharpie first. So printing first and Sharpie later, or if you don't have a Sharpie, it's not a big deal. So, if you decide that you want to use a water-based marker first, this is what it will look like. So it doesn't really turn out. If you draw your image first in a water-based marker, let's say like this, Let's just do a quick image here of a smiley face. And if I put this into the water, you can see what's going to happen. It's going to get all blurry, and you're not going to be able to see it. So, that's it. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. I'm missing you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.